Hi everyone, my name is Vinod Sanadhya and I work as a marketing manager for OpenXcell Technolabs. OpenXcell is a focused company for mobile app development. Till date, we have designed and developed more than 700 mobile applications. We are pleased that you are taking time out of your busy day to know more about impact of iOS 7 on app marketers and developers. This webinar is a part of our Revolution webinar series. Today we will discuss about new features and designs in iOS 7. We will also talk about the benefits and challenges of iOS 7 with reference to app developers and marketers. Please feel free to put your questions anytime using the tab at the right side of your screen. We will try to answer as many of your questions as possible at the end of the presentation. We will also send everyone an email with a link to the recording and the presentation slides in a week or two. Please allow me a minute to introduce OpenXcell Technolabs. OpenXcell Technolabs is an ISO 9001-2008 certified company located in India and USA. We have more than 120 developers and we have a big team of designers and project managers. We are focused in mobile app development, web development, game development, enterprise systems, and of course in e-commerce development. We have our clients based across the globe, so we have provided our services every part of this world. Mr. Jayneel Patel is the panelist for this webinar. He is the CEO and MD of OpenXcell Technolabs. He has a large experience of mobile app development and marketing. The presentation will be carried on by me and Mr. Varshal Patel. Mr. Varshal Patel is a project manager in OpenXcell for iPhone applications. He has experience of more than 6 years in project management of iPhone applications. And I am working as a marketing manager in OpenXcell, and I have experience of more than 5 years in marketing and research for information technology. Here is the today's agenda. So you can see the points what we will be discussing in our next slides. We will discuss about the forecast for mobile app market. Then we will have the performance of iOS 7 till date. Then we will talk about benefits of iOS 7. Then we can have a discussion about iOS 7 challenges with references to new apps and existing apps. Then we will tell that what should be the strategies to move with this change. And then we have an research for effect on app marketing and monetization. Few practical tips to improve revenue of iOS apps. Then we will conclude the presentation and then we will have the question and answer session. So let us discuss some forecast about mobile app market. The first question is, how much revenue will mobile apps generate? So the total app revenues will grow from USD 12 billion in full year 2012 to reach USD 20.4 billion in full year 2013. Revenues will continue to grow aggressively, reaching USD 38.6 billion in 2015 and on to reach a massive USD 63.5 billion in 2017. So you can see that there is a very big market of mobile applications, and the revenues and the mobile apps revenues are growing with a scale or with a pace. The second question is, how many apps are downloaded each year? So it's also an interesting research. The research is done by Porsche. Mobile app stores will generate 82 billion app downloads in full year 2013, up from 46 billion in full year 2012, and almost doubling of the market. So you can see that there is a double effect. The downloads are getting double in a year. The market will then continue to grow up to 151 billion app downloads in 2015 and on to break 200 billion to reach total downloads of 214 billion in full year 2017. So there is a massive increase in mobile app downloads. So here is a graph which is showing the effect of mobile app downloads from 2010 to 2017. So you can see the forecast. In 2010 the downloads were of around 10 billions, and if you see the data of 2017, it has reached to 214 billion. So you can see the massive growth. If you see the cumulative picture, the cumulative downloads from 2010 to 2017 is 831 billion. So it's a very big market which is growing in a very good pace. So now we can discuss that how many people use mobile apps. So what is our target segment, and how many people are using mobile apps. So 1.2 billion people worldwide were using mobile apps at the end of 2012. This is forecast to grow at 29.8% each year to reach 4.4 billion users by the end of 2017. Much of this growth will come from Asia, which will account for almost half of app users in 2017. So you can see that this forecast results that 2017 the Asia will be the very big market for mobile applications. So how do you make money from mobile apps? So it is interesting topic for mobile app marketers and developers, that how we can generate sales, and what are the forecasts about the sales from mobile applications. So according to the research from Gartner, in 2013 there will be 81.4 billion downloads of apps. 90% of these will be free apps. By 2016 there will be 309 billion app downloads, but 93% will be free apps. The number of downloads featuring in-app purchases will increase from 5% of total downloads in 2011 to 30% in 2016. The share of revenue from in-app purchases will grow from 10% in 2011 to 41% in 2016. So you can see that you can make money, or mobile applications are making money in the forecast from Gartner through in-app purchases. So now app developers and app marketers should focus on in-app purchases to generate more revenue and more sales. So now how many mobile apps are there in market? In October, in October 2013, Mr. Tim Cook announced that Apple has crossed 1 million apps in App Store. So Apple has the target to cross 1 million, and they have achieved in October 2013. In July 2013, Google's VP announced that the Google Play Store had more than 1 billion apps in its store. So now you can see both the big stores is having more than 2 million apps in their respective app store, in their app stores. So you have in market around 2 million mobile applications in market. Let us have a discussion about the performance of iOS 7. On the day of launch, Chitika is a research company which says that iOS 7 generated just over 18% of traffic from North American users on their platform in first 24 hours, which beats out the iOS 6 first day updates states. This graph shows the decline of iOS 6 users and the adoption of iOS 7 users. According to Mixpanel is again an analytical and research organization for mobile application. According to Mixpanel, 22% people updated on iOS 7 in the 10 hours following its launch. Again, the data for the first day, it is the bifurcation of the downloads with reference to the iOS devices. If you see, the downloads for iPads is 26% almost, and for iPhone it's 34%. So this research has been done by OnSwipe. Again, it's a research and marketing company for mobile applications. It says that 31% users are already in iOS 7 in first 24 hours from its launch across all iOS device. And on the other hand, if we talk about iOS 6 got only 24.77% updations in first 24 hours across all iOS devices. So iOS 7 is making a good impression in the market. So let's discuss about the iOS 7 performance for a week. 1 week following the release of iOS 7, over 51% of North American iOS-based web traffic was generated by iOS 7 users, again outpacing iOS 6 over the same time period. iOS 7 adoption in October 2013. According to Mixpanel, more than 75% adoption of iOS 7 was recorded by 26th of this month. In general, iOS 7 is getting very good response from iOS users, and it is far ahead from previous iOS versions and competitors in the market. So now I will hand over the presentation to my colleague Mr. Varshal Patel. Varshal, please take the presentation from here.
Yeah, thank you, Vinod. Thanks for sharing some valuable information regarding a forecast about app market and performance of iOS 7. Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us, Impact of iOS 7 for App Marketers and Developers webinar. Today, we'll have a lot of information to talk about, so we'll jump in. The first thing we'll do and spend a little bit of time talking about what's new in iOS 7 and benefits of iOS 7. Let me take you to the next slide. So here you see we listed some few fantastic features offered by iOS 7. However, iOS 7 updates comes with a lot of new features like new mobile user interface. One of the first thing you will notice when you upgrade your iPhone from iOS 6 to 7 is all new user interface. You may also find new flat UI. It includes renovated icons, home screen, lock screen, transparent notification center, control panel, etc., etc. Another fantastic update by Apple is gesture technology. There are plenty of new gestures are available in iOS 7. So let's talk about on few most usable gestures from iOS 7. You can swipe from left edge towards the right in mails, notes, settings, messages, etc. Allow you to go back one screen. A swipe up from the bottom of the screen brings up the newly introduced control panel that gives us quick access to system toggles and lots more. A swipe down from the top half of the screen brings up the spotlight search interface, which is really cool. Swipe from the left edge in Safari to go back one page. You can also swipe right edge in Safari to go forward. Drag a tab towards the left in the Safari tab view to close the tab. And you can also observe that swipe right from the anywhere on the screen, you can unlock your device. Switch between adjacent notification tabs by swiping horizontally. A horizontal swipe from right to left brings up the trash and more options, while in the mail list view, tapping on more lets you reply, forward, flag, mark as read, mark as junk, or move the messages. So here we discuss about new gestures by iOS 7. Let's discuss the next point, auto layout updates. With iOS 7, Apple has made it easier for developers to incorporate layout technology to make sure it appears correctly on the user screen. If it's iOS 4, 4S, or 5, it doesn't matter. Another cool feature by iOS 7 is AirDrop. We think this is one of the most valuable features for app marketers as well. Let's discuss more about AirDrop. AirDrop for iOS allows you to quickly transfer files between two iOS devices by creating an ad hoc Wi-Fi network between iOS devices, and it doesn't need any configuration. So you can easily transfer your files between two different iOS devices. Multitasking. This is one of the fantastic sophisticated background processing support by iOS 7. You have the latest content when you launch an app, but by also ensuring it doesn't have a major impact on battery life, which is very good news. Let's discuss about camera, photos, and video. Now you can have access to all your formats, video, camera, panorama, at all in one place. You can also apply filters before you're taking pictures. You can also have smart grouping of your photos and video based on the time and place. Another cool feature is internet app audio. Make app act as an output or input for sending and receiving audio to and from other apps. Last but not the least is MapKit. You may find numerous improvements in features for apps that use map-based information. Again, I mean, there are many more features and improvements available in iOS 7, but we listed major features here which we found useful for your reference. Next thing, I want to spend some time talking about how iOS 7 support into government, education, and enterprise space. You may notice that following years of Apple adding more and more features that allow IT administrators to have more control on iOS devices. We listed few features which shows iOS 7 noticeable contribution in education, government, and enterprise space. The first major point is security. The security is enhanced by iOS 7 by offering Touch ID default encryption class for all the install apps, which is very useful for US government. Another point is increased support to MDM API. You can have new features like silent app installation, app configuration, app feedback, managed opening, control, which apps use cellular data, which is really good for, I mean, internal use for companies. Extra accessibility options for single app mode, which is really good example. Let me give you a good example, Kiosk, where you can have a single app installation. Then let me take you to the next slide, how it affects to the app marketing. We are envisioning that the cool new features like AirDrop, iBackends, Passbook, and iAd frameworks could be a big opportunity for app marketers to generate revenue and get more attention of mobile users if it's used tactfully. And we have reasons to say it. Let me give a few examples. We are envisioning that iBeacon could be a groundbreaking feature for app marketers because it comes with location-based marketing. Let me give you a really good example. Imagine if you are in a pizza store and the pizza store owner install iBeacon in the store. So it can send pizza discount coupons to your iPhone in order to push you purchase great pizza deals from a pizza store. That's really cool. Here, iBeacons allow iPhone and iPad devices relating to their location in real time to talk to each other without need of Wi-Fi or GPS technology. So forget Wi-Fi and GPS now. Another cool feature offered by iOS 7 is Passbook. We call it bridging print. We see this as a potential feature for marketers to readily convert many of the paper-based coupons into mobile format. This is really good for consumers. So now it's all mobile. Now you can have easy sharing. We call it AirDrop. Let me give you a really good example for app marketers. Using AirDrop in the application, you can offer in-app freebies for users who agree to AirDrop. And you can offer them a trial version of an iPhone, or you can also offer some another good features from an application itself while sharing their application to their friends. Another point is automatic app updates. You can easily optimize and update your app, but analyze your users' behavior and reviews closely. And you can now also optimize and update app accordingly. So using this, we are envisioning that, I mean, you can create a great app with high ratings. We can easily give you high ratings on App Store while you're advertising. Another feature is iAd frameworks. So using new improved iAd framework, you can add iAd framework before any video playback. So you can attract users to say and see your advertisements. So this is another very good feature by iOS 7, and it's also add values in iOS 7 for app marketers. So let's discuss some challenges for new apps and existing apps on the App Store. Based on our research, I mean, we found a really cool case studies. The sources by UTest. We found 3 major app developers like Skype, WhatsApp, and Chess with Friends. So, I mean, apps which are not optimizing for iOS 10 are dropping the review ratings on the App Store. So here you can see, I mean, it is costing your big money here. Please see the case study. You can notice that there is a drop down of rating if it's not upgrading iOS 7. So it's time to discuss some common problems while you're upgrading your iOS 6 apps to iOS 7. We found 3 most common problems while migrating apps to 7. The number 1 is user interface rendering issues. If your app have customized view like heavy custom layouts, then you need to make sure, I mean, it supports new user interface offered by iOS 7. And you also need to make sure it appears correctly as needed on your application. Another common problem we found is gesture confusion. However, there are so many cool new gestures offered by iOS 7, but we found like in few applications, these 5 features may conflict with buttons or calls which action very close to edge of the screen, which is not performing as it's intended. The third common problem we found is crashing. As you know, I mean, Apple adds new APIs in every new iOS. You may notice like there are 1,500 new APIs are added in iOS 7 to perform predefined tasks, which is without you need to write a big code snippet. And it stopped supporting APIs which crash the app sometimes. So these are the most common problems we found while you migrate your app from 6 to 7. So let's some discussion about new frameworks, enhancements to existing frameworks for app developers. Here is the list we found new frameworks offered by iOS 7. There are plenty of new frameworks available for iOS 7. You can see Game Control, SpriteKit. We found SpriteKit is the biggest competitor of Cocoa's, multi-peer connectivity, JavaScript core framework, media accessibility framework, and Safari services. Let me take you to the next slide where we found, I mean, enhancements to existing frameworks. Here is the list. You may found UIKit, StoreKit, PassKit, OpenGL, Message UI, iAd, Core Motion, AV Foundation, Core Location. These are the frameworks are enhanced in existing frameworks. So here is the list of deprecated APIs we found in iOS 7. However, it is it's a major list we found, but there are others APIs as well. UDID, MAC address, new permission, new class properties, and address book UI framework, and core animation. Here is a list of deprecated APIs. There are many others, but you can notice these are the major ones. So let's discuss about strategies to move with this change. Based on our experience, we found evaluating your app for iOS 7 upgrade. This is the first strategy we found. We believe iOS 7 is the perfect excuse to reevaluate your app to improve user experience. You may notice there are plenty of new features offered by iOS 7, so why should not we take advantage of it? Strategy 2. Think about re-engineering your app's architecture. Because users always expect their apps to be native iOS 7. There are so many new transitions and animations in 2D and 2.5D are available in iOS 7. And there are so many APIs available in iOS 7. You can give a look and feel like iOS 7 to generate more revenues from your existing app. So this is a really good strategy. Let's discuss about maintain OS backward compatibility. It's advisable that apps should run on as many devices as possible. However, iOS 7 captured almost nearly 75% of user devices. But it should be advisable that apps should run as many as devices. So while still providing the end user the best possible experience on their devices. Strategy 4. Take an advantage of multitasking. Think user's perspective. Using multitasking, you can save users time by adding multitasking capabilities. You can keep it updated even in your app switches from another application. Strategy 5. Step ahead of the game. And you can enhance your security while using iOS 7 for your business. Secure your app. There are so many new APIs available in iOS 7 are providing enhancement to iOS 7. So secure your business data safe using iOS 7. Let me pass this presentation to Vinod to discuss some more valuable information about iOS 7.
Thank you, Varshal. I think it was a very informative session by you, and our attendees must have got some valuable information from your presentation. So let us discuss some impacts of iOS 7 on App Store changes on marketing, key App Store changes from iOS 6 to iOS 7. So let us have a look on it. The first is the vertical scrolling is back. So now the finding of the app is now more comfortable and easy. So it is good for users. Now more number of apps will be there in featured and top charts. So if you talk about the featured section, you will find more apps before you click the see all button. But if you talk about the top charts, the see all button has been removed from top charts, and there the user will be able to find more apps. So the basically for it's a user friendly feature, and your app can get a higher position in these kind of updates from iOS 7. Screenshots and icons are now larger in iOS 7. So you can see that icons and screenshots, you can use larger sizes of icons and screenshots on your apps or on App Store. So as you know that icon has a very good effect on downloads for your apps. So if you want to make some creative icons with a bigger size, you can do that, and you can publish that on App Store. So it may help to get you some more users. Again, it's statistics about what was in iOS 6 and iOS 7 in terms of icons. So you can see that iPhone Retina in iOS 6 was 114 cross 114. In iOS 7 it's now 120 cross 120. So you are getting much space for your icon. App ratings in iOS 7. So now it's a very important feature in app for your app marketing. Because in iOS 7 what will happen that the iOS will count all of the ratings from all of your versions, previous versions. Means if you in your earlier version, if you are having good ratings, then it will benefit you. But if you are not having good ratings in earlier version, then you will not be able to move up on the chart. So now what the thing is that for every version you need to have good ratings for your apps and good reviews for your apps. So they may convert into more downloads if you focus on your ratings for all of your versions. Auto updates. Instead of manually updating your apps, iOS 7 will now automatically push your updates directly to users. So now it's a very good feature from iOS 7, but we need to take care some preventive actions before we go for a new update or new version, because we have some questions regarding this. First, from auto updates, the update cycle will be shorter. So The update cycle will be shorter because you need not to wait and build up ratings for your current version, because the iOS 7 will focus on the ratings of total of your old previous versions. So your update cycle will be shorter in iOS 7. But the thing is that how you will tell users about your updates that has been changed. So because when the updates were manual, so it has become an automatic tool to to send the information to your users that you are coming with some new features or some new updates. But if it's automatic updates, then it's you need to tell your users that what features you are updating and what kind of new things you have in your app. So what we suggest that you can use some in-app messaging services like AppTentio, HelpShift, and Intercom TK for to make awareness amongst your users regarding your new features or new updates. Apps near me. Apps near me is a new category in itself is a different chart in iOS 7. It shows a specific app specific to a local area in this particular category. Means if you have a specific feature in an app or a specific app with reference to a specific local area, that app will show in apps near me when a user will be there in that particular local area. So what you can do, you can make some features specific to some local areas, or you can do some more initiative or more research on app localization, so you can get a better position in App Store. So it will also help you to App Store optimization if you work for this particular thing, because it should not be very focused among all app developers and marketers. So if you can take an initiative and you can put something according to for this particular feature, so that you can go up on the chart list. Kids category, again iOS 7 has now a different section of kids category, where you can put an application for children 11 years old and younger. So it's like a function section where you are showing some of your apps for kids. So because Apple is also feeling that it would be a very big market in nowadays, so you can make such apps for small kids and children. So you can also take benefit for this particular new market segment which Apple is also targeting right now. So what is you need to do? You need to get in touch with Apple and set up your age restrictions mindfully, so that you can be on the app your app can be in the kids category and get some more users and downloads. So how to not get rejected from the App Store? Here are some tips. So you can to avoid the disapproval during the rigorous review process. First, which we have discussed, that update your app icon, because now the size has been increased for app icon, so you need to upgrade your app icon. Update the launch image of your app to include the status bar area. Support Retina display and iPhone 5 in your every design and artwork. So you should take care of these three things to avoid your rejection in App Store. So let's have a effect of price change on iOS apps. It is a it is a research which has been done by Distimo. Distimo again is a research and analytics firm for mobile applications, and they have a very good publication in January 2013 regarding the effect of price change on iOS iPhone apps. So we just want to discuss these things because it will help app marketers and developers to generate more revenues, or to take a wise decision about the price of their mobile application. So here are the major findings of that research or the publication from Distimo. The majority of price changes is less than $3. So you can see the graph provides insights about the size of price change events and include both price increase and price drops. The size of price events differs from event to event. Some prices changed less than $1, while other changes were more significant. 42% of price changes was in the range of $1 to $2 in the Apple App Store for iPhone. 1/3 of the changes on the iPad fitted in this range. Prices in the Apple App Store for iPad had a largest fluctuation when we look at the tiers that indicate large price changes. 20% of all price events involved a change larger than $4. So here we prove that majority of price changes were below $3 or on $3. While in the Apple App Store for iPhone, this percentage was 15%. The largest price change that we found was $200 price change for Add to Cart Amana app by data-driven decisions on the iPad. So it was the largest price change on iPad section. The graph on the left shows the growth in cumulative downloads 5 days after a price change took place. According to the data, a price change had a significant effect on download volumes. Not surprisingly, download volumes generally went up with a price drop and decreased when a price increased. The intention of the effect of the price change, however, depends on the store. On average, downloads of applications in the Apple App Store for iPhone react most heavily on any price change. Download volumes in this store grew by 1665%, 1665%, 5 days after the price drop. So you can see a massive increase in the downloads when we drop the price. The effect of the price drop is much lower for iPad applications. After 5 days, the download volumes increased by only 871%. So you can see that if you drop the price, you are getting significant, or I can say a very good download increase for iPad and iPhone. So effect on downloads by price increase. We have discussed that effect of downloads on price decrease. Now we talk about the price increase. A price raise often marks the end of a sales period. However, some developers raise prices without having put their applications on sale. The outcome of a price raise is that it negatively affects download volumes. However, the extension of the effect is lower the price raises compared to price drops. Downloads decreased by 46% in the Apple App Store for iPhone and by 57% in the Apple App Store for iPad. We can conclude from this that applications do not maintain the download level that is reached by a price drop once the price increased again. So when you are again increasing the price after price drop, so you are getting your download is decreased. So now it's effect on revenues. So it's very it's an interesting subject for app marketers and developers, that how the revenues are fluctuating or affecting when you are increase your price or you decrease your price of your application. The graph shows the average revenue growth 3, 5 and 7 days after a price drop in both Apple App Stores. So when you are dropping the price of your app, this graph shows the changes for 3, 5 and 7 days. The graph supports the notion that the surge of downloads caused by the price drop compensated the lower charged price during the sales period. This effect becomes already visible 3 days after the event took place. Revenue in the Apple App Store for iPhone went up by 95% within 3 days after the price drop. The revenue boost for applications on the iPad is significantly lower. Revenue increased by 51% 3 days after the price drop. So you can say that after dropping your price in just 3 days, your revenue is almost increased by 100% in iPhone applications, and almost by 50% in iPad applications. So you are see, after dropping your price, you are not just getting more downloads, but you are getting more revenues. It doesn't means if you are dropping your price, it doesn't mean that you are not earning, because now the thing is that how the revenue is increasing, it must be because of the in-app purchases, because when you drop your price, your user base is getting on a higher side, then you are having a chance to put some in-app purchases, features and content in your app, and then you can generate more revenue, which our statistics from Gartner we have talked earlier in our earlier slides, that in-app purchases are getting more response in the market. So we have discussed these results for the last slide. Here we will discuss the effect on revenue, price elasticity on revenue. The graph shows the price elasticity on revenue. A number between, see what is the price elasticity, let us discuss first. A number between -1 or 0 indicates that the product is relatively inelastic in case of the store, which means that a price drop of 1% results in revenue growth of less than 1%. This was the case of revenue in the Apple App Store for iPad, where a 1% drop in the selling price of an iPad application resulted in a 0.7% increase in revenue aggregated over 5 days. The price elasticity on revenue for applications on the iPhone is lower than -1, which suggests that the revenue is in this store are relatively elastic. A 1% price drop in the Apple App Store for iPhone led to 1.2% increase in revenue within 5 days from the price event. So here is the picture of price elasticity. Again, we have discussed the facts which has been shown in this slide. So here's the conclusion. Varshal, can we conclude the slide now?
Oh, sure. Thanks, Vinod. So, to summarize every valuable information, we'd like to point out that iOS 7 is not just a new and simplified design, but it also opens doors of new possibilities and opportunities for app marketers and developers. So, as of our experience, upgrading to iOS 7 is a wise decision for new app developers as well as existing app developers. So thanks everyone. You can post some question on today's webinar, and we'll try and answer all of those in a week or two. And we'll also gonna be publish our webinar recording and PowerPoint slide on our website, and you can also request it via your email.
Thank you all. Yeah, we are thankful to all the attendees. So be patient for a longer time period, and we hope that the information in the slides may have added some knowledge about iOS 7 or some good information to your iOS 7 knowledge. So what we would like now to some feedbacks from your end. If you have any feedbacks for us, please write to us so that we can add some values to our webinars, our next webinars. And also we will be sharing, as Varshal told, we will sharing the slides and the video link for the video within a week or two through mail to all of you. We will also publish these presentation and the video on our YouTube and LinkedIn pages. So you can find all these things over there. Meanwhile, if you have any questions, you can put on the right side of your tab on the right side. As we got a question that how attendees can get the presentation. I told that we will mail the presentation and videos within a week. Not an issue for that. So Varshal, I think that we are not getting much questions after that, so we can end the presentation over here. I thank again all of you for being so patient for this particular webinar. Thanks a lot to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you for attending Impact of iOS 7 on App Developers and Marketers seminar. Thank you.